Hi, my name is Nicole Palladini. I'm a senior here at ASU, and my debate is going to be talking about the environmental concerns, especially when it comes to big farming. So, we only have this one Earth, and unless we want to go to Mars sooner than we want to, joking, then we need to have a general consideration when it comes to the environment. I'm mostly going to be talking about corporate agriculture, or what I called big farming previously. So, farming used to be individually owned businesses that focused on growing natural foods and naturally fed animals. And just recently, in the past decade or so, farms are not the same. They're huge and they're industrialized with hundreds or thousands of animals needing to be matured and ready to slaughter as soon as possible in order to then produce more goods. As a meat eater, I want to know my food is diligently raised and farmed and is the best quality it can be. But when corporate farming is taking over the industry, it's not always the case. Many of the animals are pumped with things such as hormones and things that aren't good for your body and is not meant to be digested. And they're also pumped with foods that they don't normally eat, like cows and stuff are pumped with corn, other things like that they don't normally eat just to fatten them up and get ready to slaughter. So I am not a vegetarian, but I understand where vegans and vegetarians are concerned and why they want to fight these big corporations. I'm against it too. Big farming is not good for the environment at all or good for our bodies at all. There's so many negative effects to both humans and the environment when it comes to big farming. This type of farming is super unsustainable and ultimately hurts both consumers and producers. Having thousands of these big farms creates an uncompetitive market, which obviously hurts the producers. And since they can produce so much more than locally owned farms and their prices are so much cheaper, these local farms are being put out of business, even though it's the more sustainable option and healthier and better for the environment. When it comes to the environment, there are so many negative effects that make big farming not even worth it as an industry, in my opinion. There's an excessive pesticide use, soil erosion, genetic engineering, monoculture, and the concentration of animal waste, which jeopardizes the later use of this land. The land that industrial farms sit on are virtually going to be barren and unfarmable in the very near future. If we continue to farm this way, it's not good. Big farming also threatens food sovereignty in developing countries who are already struggling to get the same industrial level as we are in the U.S. And coming back to the health side of it, we should be very concerned when consuming foods from these large corporations. Our health is in danger and can be jeopardized through foodborne illnesses. And not only is our health at risk, but the entire environment is at risk because of this large-scale farming. Over 37% of methane emissions result from big farming, according to the website One Green Planet. And methane, if you don't know, is one of the main causes of global warming, meaning that contributing to big farming contributes to the destruction of our planet through global warming. Along with air pollution, water pollution is a huge risk when it comes to big farming. Industrial agriculture sucks up to 70% of the world's water supply, according to the same website I mentioned previously. Water polluted with agricultural runoff can destroy whole ecosystems and can be toxic to both humans and animals alike. Big farming also leads to another environmental problem, which is deforestation. And I know this is another huge topic when it comes to environmental debate, so I'm just going to touch on it very lightly. But in the U.S. alone, over 260 million acres of forest has been cleared to make room for crop fields. 260 million. Isn't that insane? That's just, I can't even imagine. That's so many ecosystems and animals' lives that have been destroyed for big farming. And then the U.S. is not the only country that uses deforestation as a practice. Land clearing is common all around the world and is causing so much destruction for what cause? For people to be able to buy meat cheaper, but it's infected with all kinds of pesticides and other illnesses. And deforestation also increases global warming by 50%. So if deforestation wasn't part of it, global warming wouldn't be at the level it is right now. If we want our grandkids to be able to experience the earth that we're experiencing, we need to slow down big farming industries. There are many things we can do to not support big farming. It's hard, but it's possible. One, shop locally. It's more expensive, and as a poor college student myself, it's not always the more efficient option, but it's worth it to save our environment over. You can also just stop eating meat altogether. I know that I like meat and I like eating meat. I couldn't give it up, but if you are vegetarian or vegan or whatever, you contribute very, very little to industrial agriculture. Or another option is to make your own compost and grow your own fruits and veggies. It's something that I've never been good at. I don't have a green thumb at all, but it's worth a shot. For this debate, I got most of this past information from onegreenplanet.org, which I mentioned previously. And if you feel so inclined, check out the hashtag #EatForThePlanet to learn more. Thanks.